Hello, hello everybody. Did everybody like the song that I wrote last night after my meditation? That song actually came to me. Now that I'm thinking about it, it's got like a Jefferson Airplane kind of feel, don't you think? Not everyone liked the song, but what can you do? And it's based on a true story, which is that I have had the opportunity to live all over the world, and I have lived on ashram, and I was in a woman's yeshiva. And I have attended my friends' church services, and people are people all over the world, and it seems like we don't like to do the dishes. So one of the things that I learned when I was studying mediation is that when you're trying to get people to come together and communicate, particularly people who have a history of war or antagonism, one of the best ways to get people to loosen up and begin talking to one another is through finding our shared humanity, and hopefully doing it in a way that gets us to chuckle and laugh and be silly. And I think it goes back to something that's very human, which is that we all love to party and have a good time and to eat great food and to feel like spiritual people. How goodly it is when brethren dwell together, right? So we love having all these experiences, but we sometimes think that cleaning up the mess is not a spiritual act. And if you look at the writings of someone like Thich Nhat Hanh, who was a Vietnamese Buddhist monk, Theravedic tradition, he talked about the fact that in the Buddhist tradition, even what are considered mundane acts take on a spiritual component. And on this channel, a lot of the times, I not only see that there's a lot of rigidity and fear, right? And so one of the things I want to do in mediation is to kind of get us to be a little bit less rigid, maybe a little less fearful, maybe laugh a little bit, maybe not have so much fear, and start talking to each other about the mess that we collectively created and what we are going to do, what I'm going to do, what you're going to do. To clean it. There was a really great article in the New York Times about the detention centers. I would really encourage everybody to read it. I will link it below this channel so that we can all be part of the change and cleaning up the mess. Sitting back, waiting for other people to clean up a mess that we co-created, either through abdication or by intentionally putting people in positions of power, is the mess that we have to clean up. All right, so now we're going to go ahead and we're going to shuffle. I'm going to take a look at what President Trump is up to. I haven't looked at him in a while. I have a feeling like, it just feels to me like he wants to get out of this situation, and we could start seeing some resignations coming up. That's just how it feels. So we're going to go ahead and shuffle. We'll take a look. The base card for Trump this week, karma and the eyes opening. So something seems to be happening or is about to happen where some major type of information is probably going to be coming out regarding, and it involves this president. It could be one of the reasons why we see his energy feels like he's exhausted, he's retreating. I know he's at Camp David right now. He decided, according to his version, to not bomb 10 minutes prior to bombing Iran. It's weird. This is a feeling I get when I go into this energy, that he's exhausted, he's tired. I don't know if he wants to run again. I know that people say he does, that he has a good chance of winning. The GOP is saying that. The Dems are saying no, his numbers are not good. This is really more a feeling of just exhaustion than anything else. But what's interesting is that what's moving in is this idea of the truth or something coming out, and it's the time, karma. There's a karma around it. Where he is at right now, Two of Pentacles, indecision regarding partnerships. Indecision regarding partnerships, making a decision, heartbreak. I feel like he is ending former relationships. There's a feeling that Trump's internal belief systems are shifting. A feeling like he's moving away from certain alliances and now he's moving closer to NATO. This is going to be interesting because it just seems to be more of this idea of working across the aisle. But this Five of Pentacles also moving in, and this Judgment card, there's a feeling like this president just doesn't want to do this anymore. That's the best way to describe it. Where he's at right now, seriously contemplating or R&R time. It could be a phase he comes out of. He's just exhausted, or a feeling like he needs to make some serious decisions. Some people could be leaving his administration. But also just this exhaustion I'm feeling. The hope and the fear, mediation, the great mediator comes, and then victory. So there's this, again, this desire to avoid war, and instead the energy and the archetypes coming in are mediation, resolution of conflict, and victory through mediation. Clarification, to flee a situation that is unpleasant, or to be as the thief, attempting to get away with something, what is around him. Strength card, hopes and fears, defense, Nancy Pelosi, and the outcome. So the best way to describe this energy in terms of what Trump's energy looks like in the coming weeks is, I just feel exhaustion, possibly ending relationships with some of his hawks and moving more towards communicating with the doves, a desire not to keep, he's exhausted from the fighting, and I just feel like his power is dropping, and we're going to start seeing more power being wielded by Nancy Pelosi. So those are the cards for Trump, and just a feeling like he doesn't want to do it anymore. And how can I get out of this? Look, it could be a phase, that is simply happening because he's exhausted. All right, I want to look at the future of Bolton, because I've been feeling some tension between Bolton and President Trump, and so I just want to see if Bolton has a future with this administration. I have a feeling he may be moving on. What is the future of Bolton in this administration? Base card of the matter regarding Bolton, Ten of Swords. Serious conversations going on regarding the future of Bolton with this administration. That's exactly, this Ten of Swords is there for his base. A Ten of Pentacles, his inheritance, or what he's going to be collecting as a result of his position. Ten of Pentacles also has an aspect of keeping secrets, or some aspect to it where information is not readily available. Rejecting an offer. Sun moving in. What is above him? His wish regarding his work. This feels to me, when I'm in his energy, like he's been spending years. In his mind, he's the master. In his mind, he's the one that's spent years learning how to do what he is trying to do. And so there's this feeling of frustration from Bolton that he spent years becoming who he is, being able to develop his ideas, and that they could be thwarted. Walking away. He could walk away from his position, and instead you see the Cups moving in, the Lovers cards moving in, and the Knight of Cups again. So he won this battle. His power appears to be diminished, and it looks like the doves are winning out. I just don't see Bolton having as much power now as he did in the past. Okay, now we know that Mike Pompeo is not getting along with North Korea, and actually it was the request of North Korea that they stop sending Mike Pompeo because they said that he lacked the maturity to be able to work with them. I thought that was kind of interesting. So now I want to check out Pompeo and see if there's going to be problems with the State Department and the future of Pompeo in this administration, because Bolton feels like he's either moving on, retreating, or he's been put into some situation where his power is limited. And I just want to check out Pompeo now. What is the future of Mike Pompeo in the State Department? Where is that right now? Two of Cups again, peace offerings, frugality, holding back, Four of Pentacles. So this is somebody who's a little bit more cautious than Bolton, but you can see again Cups coming in regarding negotiations or peace offerings with others. Again, Cups, this is all about offers of peace. He's also coming from a place of being defensive, Seven of Wands in his third house, which is suggestive that, again, his policies are being questioned. Instead, the energy seems to be moving towards peace, moving more towards communication, negotiation. I'm not an astrologer, but if I was, I would be looking for what astrological changes are happening right now that seem to be moving us. People are exhausted. People don't want to fight. Instead, this is all about peace, offers, communication. And the doves are gaining power and the hawks are being, their voices are being stunted a little bit. He feels confined or restricted by changes. It's almost like they've been given a corner office and the hawks are no longer in the position of power that they once were. In terms of how the president feels, I just feel like he's exhausted. There's something about President Trump right now where he's physically exhausted and he's asking his leadership, his generals, and the people that he trusts to take control over the situation and suppress, dismiss, or gag the hawks a little bit. That the people who want to go to war are not necessarily going to get what they want. And so I don't know what, it just feels to me like even if Pompeo is not terminated in the State Department, his work is curtailed, it's diminished. It's like he goes to a desk job or something. But both he and Bolton are being suppressed a little bit in the coming weeks. It doesn't surprise me that the president is at Camp David because that's the energy moving in. All the cards coming in, all of the heart cards, like the two of Cups, which is about hearts, negotiations, the Lovers cards again about negotiations, and a feeling like the people that were more aggressive seem to be in retreat. All right, so I just did a quick video today. I thought it would be fun. I hope everybody enjoyed watching it, and we'll see you next time. Take care, everybody.